welcome, welcome once again to another visible portrait of life art exhibit. And you have with you today, again, me, Daddy Tadell, the voice of 87.7 right on radio, can you dig it? And with me is Miss Amazing herself, Miss Sharonda Walker, my co-host. And we have a very special and honored guest with you. Also one of our 2025 honorees, the great Bishop, author, and pastor of Golden Gate Cathedral Church, none other than the incomparable Bishop Edward Stevens. How you doing, sir?
Amazing. Now I'm gonna have to write you a check and everything. Yeah, absolutely.
We are so glad to have you.
Yes, thank you so much for
and we want you to know, sir, you were chosen from the community by the community who saw your works, as Jesus said, and glorified God, and nominated you as one of our top honorees for the 2025 Visible Portrait of Life.
Thank you so kindly. We're honored to be the recipient of that.
We are just thrilled to have you. You have shined such a positive light in the Memphis community. Can you share with our viewers how you got into the ministry?
Well, I come from a line of pastors, number one.
Okay.
All the way back to my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my dad, myself, as well with our sons who are part of the ministry as well.
So it's in the DNA?
It's definitely in the DNA, without a doubt. We have cousins and etc. who are also ministers.
Okay.
And so naturally growing up in that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what I wanted to do or felt a passion and a calling is what we use to do. But I would guess from probably 8 to 10 years old. 8, 10 years old, I honestly, my first funeral was a bird.
Was a bird?
A bird.
and how did that go?
Well, the bird had died, and we needed a place to bury the bird, so we had to have a service.
Yes.
A service and all the whole 9 yards. So we got a shoebox, my brother and I, and so that was my first. So I never will forget my dad's pastor, who was Pastor E.L. Slay, who pastored the Ebenezer Baptist Church on Henry Street downtown in that day.
Okay.
And he had I remember him had stopped by our home, and he helped us build a little cross for the little bird. He hammered it in the ground. I remember that like yesterday, but I always tell folks, my first funeral really was of a bird.
Of a bird.
Yeah.
Of a bird.
But I had that desire and passion to proclaim the gospel. I knew that really at the age of 12. And then I acknowledged my call, at the age of 19. Yeah. And I started preaching the gospel after my grandfather's watch, because my father was killed in a car accident going to do a wedding when I was 12. Okay, so then we, a few years after that, when I was 14, my mom and my brother and myself, my mom went to her dad's church, which was my grandfather. And that's where I actually acknowledged my call into ministry and preaching of the gospel.
How do you receive your call? I know that you mentioned you come from a family of preachers. When did you feel that calling for yourself?
Well, that's what I mentioned a moment ago. It was, I could see myself doing that. Let me put it like that. It's like a burden. It's the best way for me to articulate it.
Okay.
It's you just know what you know.
Yes, sir.
It's the best way I can describe it. And having that desire to do ministry, you feel the call of God to do and serve. And I've seen people in my life, that's what they did, was serve people. And so, thusly, that's what I knew to be the call of God. There's other things I could have done. I actually could have been in journalism.
Really?
Because that's what I was in, University of Memphis.
Okay.
Memphis State University.
Back then.
Actually, when I entered school, that's what my career path was, journalism.
Okay.
So, but that didn't last long. I had changed tracks. Yeah, absolutely. And then went to Brighton Bible College and that kind of thing.
Your work in this community, in the Memphis community, stands out. You're well respected and well known. What has been some of the challenges that you've had to overcome? As we say, we see your glory, but we don't know your story.
Well, challenges I've had to overcome. one I just mentioned, the death of my father at the age of 12 was definitely, probably the most paramount challenge that I had to get. I had to make an adjustment. I won't even say get over. You don't get over death. I think you adjust to the new circumstances and situations. And so I was blessed to have had a grandfather in my life who was also a pastor, but he was a few generations, of course, older than 2 generations ahead of me.
Okay.
And but my pastor, who was actually from Memphis, Archbishop Leroy Bailey, who pastors First Cathedral Church in Connecticut.
Okay.
And he's from Memphis, and so he was the one that I really latched on to and became my pastor and taught me about ministry development, and things of that nature.
So, because that was one of the, we always like to pay homage to individuals who have poured into you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you mentioned a couple of them. Are there any, since you come from a family of ministers and surrounded by ministry, it seems like that was the anchor of the family.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you've been around and exposed to many things, when you look at the fabric of the Memphis community, you know, having before the civil rights, we're gonna go and come back. What are some of the? I look at the spiritual roles. I look at the pastors as guides who were able to steer the sheep through so many kinds of civic and social challenges. What did you remember most growing up?
Very easy for me to reflect back on that. My father actually, who pastored Oak Grove Baptist Church, where Pastor Donald Johnson is now.
Oh, okay.
On Highway 64.
I was baptized at Oak Grove in South Memphis.
So yeah, my friend, Pastor Kendrick.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, but this is Oak Grove on 64. And my dad, I recall clearly, I mean, I see now why I'm wired the way that I am, that I have a bent toward community. It's because he also was wired like that, and he developed the first community action agency in that area. It was the Northeast Shelby Community Action Agency. So I remember my father meeting with senators and council persons in that area, so that persons, because the church at that time would have been considered in the country, if you will, what we call now Highway 64 and all the beautiful homes.
It didn't have all those buildings?
It was rural. If you don't want to call it country, it was rural or whatever. And it was on the outskirts of the city. It's not like it is now. But so the community would have to go into the inner city to get commodities. And so they had established a area and got it set up so that people could come to Oak Grove and get that commodity. So again, my point being, as a kid, you don't know all of the dimensions of what you're watching and seeing lived out in front of you. But I saw my father thusly be involved in community to help lift the community and give aid and assistance. And as a result, we do the same thing, not through commodities, but we have a school at our church, Star Academy Charter School. We're now pre-K through 7th grade. Next year will be 8. And so God has richly blessed that, and we get a chance to be a blessing to the students who come and who attend Star Academy Charter School. Thus, that we're able to hopefully continue to make an impact, a deep impact in their life. I think that if you are able to garner children in a particular mindset and vein that they can when they are young, then that gives them an edge, and that's really what you want to have in life, is an edge to go further. You know, at least they can read, at least they can, write and have skills and add and subtract. If you can do that efficiently, I think you'll make a difference.
Well, the reason why I asked that question is because ministry is in your DNA, and you mentioned several generations. One of the reasons why I'm happy about this podcast and even this art exhibit is we know that our spiritual leaders have played such a significant role in our lives. And so art, especially oil on canvas, it lasts for hundreds and hundreds of years. Have you ever gone to a museum?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So those portraits, what we found in visiting museums is often you may see oil portraits, but rarely do you see portraits of people of color.
Mm-hmm.
You may see them in a field and plantation or something like that, but not spiritual leaders. So we want future generations to be able to have a glimpse of individuals who have poured so much into our community.
Mm-hmm.
So we again are honored that you are one of 12, and that you taking the time even today to be with us and share some nuggets with the Memphis community.
Yeah.
You got another?
Yes. How do you? I watch your Facebook page. You seem to be very family oriented.
Okay.
And alone, how do you balance your success in your family life?
Balance comes easy when you have priorities. It's a byproduct.
Say it one more time.
Balance becomes easy when you have priorities. The balance is a stem of your priority. See, if you got the priority right, then the balance is just there because you prioritize. It's family first, it's family second, it's family third, it's family fourth. Because I'm gonna tell you, that's who will be with you, family.
That's right.
And you know, I have a wonderful congregation. I thank God. I believe in reincarnation, and I don't. But I would say, Lord, bring me back. Same city, the same church, the same folks, and all of that. Beautiful, beautiful congregation, and they've just been such a blessing to work with in kingdom development. But family, and this is what I teach, and they know that. They know who has priority, and that should be in everybody's family. If we can look at, sometimes I get it, men are wired in such a way to gather and conquer, you know, that we lose sight of some of the real important things that are really important. That's spending time with, you know, your children or your grandchildren. So, but again, even if you didn't see it, you can start it. That's a generational development. I saw my father and mother take us on vacations every year. Thusly, and my wife's family was the same way. And so vacationing with the family during the summertime is second nature.
Right.
Y'all
going somewhere.
We're going somewhere.
Together. That's great.
What are some of your hobbies that you've developed over the year that maybe people are not aware?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say hobby, but I was a church organist for years. Mm-hmm. You know, I played the organ for my grandfather's church, and I'm kind of quirky like that in my early teens, and that kind of thing, up until I began college and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that was. I don't golf. I go out and swing at the ball and aerate the course every night, and that's just not my thing. I'm kind of quirky like that. Yeah, I believe it or not, people may not know, I enjoy the fashion industry in the men's world.
Okay.
So I could really own a men's haberdashery. Yeah, be an upscale store to show gentlemen how and what you wear and how you wear it and that kind of thing. That's been that's a little pet peeve of mine. Yeah, so I could easily do that. That's just me.
Even though does that, you know, I know you're a member of
Kappa Alpha Psi?
Indeed, it did. Yeah. You know, those colors.
That's us, crimson and cream.
Crimson and cream.
Yes.
So where did you play?
University of Memphis.
University
of Memphis State. It was Memphis State.
Memphis State back
then. Yeah, I'm part of Memphis alumni.
Okay, I share those colors.
Yes, I do know as well as my wife. Absolutely, you dealt with it.
Well, again, we are honored that you are one of 12 that will be featured in this year's Visible Portrait of Light art exhibit. And we invite each of you to come to the art exhibit. It's going to be the last Sunday in April the 27th. Doors open at 3. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. In addition to the amazing portraits of you, along with your honorees, your colleagues for this year, we're also going to be featuring high school students, local high school students. I think there's about 17 works of art. They were tasked with painting or drawing everyday citizens who are inspiration. And I do have a couple of their works that I'd like to share with you, just give you a taste of the talent that is here in Memphis.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing?
That is good.
Looking at this is Kingston. Kingston, he's a 11th grader at Central High School.
Wow.
And this is a drawing of his mother. He feels his mother is an inspiration. We want the community to know that everybody can shine the light. And so you can see the emotions in this drawing. So we want
excellent
his work along with other young artists here in Memphis. Now this young man, his name is Anthony Smith, and he's a senior at Kirby High. I'm proud of Anthony because we've been doing the Visible Portraits of Light now for 3 years. This is our 3rd year. And he was one of the students who entered the first year and won. He entered the 2nd year and won again. And every year he's gotten better. So here it is, he's getting ready to graduate. Anthony won again. But I'm proud to also say that he is valedictorian of his class. So he does excellent in all things. So
very good. Yes, indeed.
All right.
that's just a sample. So as we get ready to end this podcast, we want to encourage you all to subscribe, like, and share. We are committed to bringing before you positive things. There's negativity enough, but there are so many wonderful individuals like Bishop Stevens.
Yes.
There are so many wonderful things that are happening in our beloved city. And so we want to end this podcast with Bishop sharing with the Memphis community some nuggets that they can chew on and live on to make Memphis and the world better.
Yeah, absolutely. Memphis, one of what I always call the beautiful city of Memphis, Tennessee. We are so excited and thankful for what God is doing in your life. I have a book that will be coming out. It's entitled Dancing with Change. And if we learn how to dance with change, you'll be able to navigate your way through whatever vicissitudes or challenges that life may have in front of you. And maybe somebody right now, you're going through something right now. But I want to encourage you that wherever you are, always speak life. And know that as the scripture that I live off of, which is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, that says, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask or think, according to, here's the caveat in the text, according to the power of the word that works in you. And so I'm telling you, you can navigate through change. You have to learn how to adjust. You can dance with change. You can make it wherever you are. Sometimes in a dance it's one person. Sometimes it's 2 people. Sometimes it's a whole group of people. Sometimes you're by yourself in a dance, right? So if you learn how to navigate through life, I'm telling you, the sky is the limit to what you can have. And keep your mouth in a positive vein. Watch when you allow yourself to let negative come out of your mouth. Speak life, and you will enjoy the best that God has for your life.